I still remember it to this day. And I won first place both years, and I never shut up since then. Sixth grade, sixth or seventh, my father took me to my first family reunion, Baltimore, Maryland. I'll never forget it because I jumped in the swimming pool at the day's end, not knowing how to swim. I went in the deepest water. I said, I'm not going to be scared today.
Wow.
And I almost drowned.
Wow.
And my sister almost let me drown because I almost pulled her under. And I saw two white breasts. A snow bunny came and saved me. So whoever that snow bunny is, thank you for saving the Prince of Pan-Africanism. I grabbed her breast and she got me out that water.
I was just sitting here thinking when you was telling the story,
Yes,
I was
sir.
like, I wonder if it was a white woman who
It was
came
a
to
white
save
woman
him.
who
Would
saved
he
me at the pool.
drowned or would he have been
Yes, sir.
saved?
Yes,
So you
sir.
actually took the help.
I grabbed it, well, you know.
Okay.
This is pre-adolescent, so you're not even,
Right, so you ain't even there yet.
I'm not even there yet. I
Okay,
just
all
saw a life preserver, two breasts, and I grabbed it. And she got me out the water. But the irony of that is that same weekend at the first family reunion is when I found out I was related to Frederick Douglass.
Really?
So we're walking in the back of the church, and there's all this, there was a display of Frederick Douglass's artifacts, his shoes, his glasses, his coat, his Bible, so forth and so on. And I asked my father, I said, why is all this Frederick Douglass stuff here? And he said, because you're related to him. And I'm like, wow, that just blew me. He said it so matter-of-factly, it didn't seem like it meant much to him. It meant everything to me because I'm in Black History class. I know exactly who Frederick Douglass is. Right. You say I related to him, so I started going to all the family reunions that I could. So that really gave me a sense of honor and obligation. Now, the Garvey building is only a few blocks away from my elementary school. I don't join it till the end of undergrad in college, but it was always there. My mother bought my tennis shoes right next to the Garvey house for 12 years straight.
Wow.
We never knew it was the Garvey house until they painted it red, black, and green. That's when it caught my attention. And I saw Elder Johnny Gossett, he's an ancestor now, and he said, can I help you? And I said, what are y'all doing in this red, black, and green building? I'm the president of the Black Student Union at Millersville University. What's going on? He said, come back Sunday at 3 o'clock, and it's been 25 years.
So I know.
So I think my road was created because it was right there. If I don't live in that neighborhood, if we don't come back to Philly at that time, if my mother doesn't buy my shoes at that store, you follow what I'm saying? So I can see how divine providence, destiny has returned.
Wow. And that's what destiny, Ifa,
Yes, sir.
means.
That's what
destiny.
it means.
Wow.
Ifa means destiny.
Okay.
And that's the name of the spiritual system of the Yoruba. And the reason it's called Ifa, it speaks to the fact that all of us choose a destiny at the feet of the Almighty in heaven. And when you come to earth, you have to find and fulfill your destiny, which means no matter how successful you might be in this world, if you're not fulfilling the destiny that you chose at the feet of the Most High, you'll still feel incomplete. This is why we got Black millionaires and Black billionaires. They got the whole world at their feet, but they still feel empty because that was not your purpose. You wasn't sent here to just drive around in fancy cars and eat at fancy restaurants. God didn't send you here for that. There's something deeper you're supposed to do, but you're so distracted with the materialism, you can't find yourself back to the right path.
So what's your suggestion on how you take the steps to getting that?
I would say it would be threefold. Number one, coming from a psychological perspective, we're often distracted from what we're supposed to do by the demons that have been introduced into our life because of the tragedies and traumas that you go through as a child and as an adult. So racism can be a distractor. Domestic abuse can be a distractor. Some people suffer from child molestation. There's all types of poverty, crime, mass incarceration. Dealing with these everyday issues distract you from putting enough attention towards your spiritual destiny. We might go to church Sunday. We might go to the mosque on Friday. Even in traditional African culture, you might go to the temple and worship once or twice a week, but you're still not giving enough attention to your relationship with supreme consciousness. To make a long story short, we put this world first before that world. In Yoruba, we have a saying that says, heaven is home. Earth is the marketplace. You just visiting here. That's where you live. So when you come here, you need to stay focused and get your job done because you won't be here forever. Another thing that we choose in heaven is how long we're going to be here. Not everybody's supposed to live a long life. You got some people who choose a short destiny. They come for 21 years. They may have only came to teach you a lesson. They may only come to teach me a lesson. They may have been born to be in a car accident to wake their parents up from the path that they was walking. So destinies are completely different. Some people have short ones. Some people have very long destinies. But you're not guaranteed to live out that destiny if your decisions are not in alignment with your highest purpose. So in other words, if I was sent here to be the next Dr. King, but because of poor character, low integrity, and bad decisions, I don't have to meet my destiny. And I could have chosen to be on earth for 100 years old, but because of my poor decisions, I check out at 30.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
We co-create
Right.
our destiny. So when people say, whatever's for you, nobody can take from you, that's partially true. If you're on your path, nobody can take it from you. But sometimes we become our own worst enemies because of a lack of spiritual discipline, so you can destroy your own destiny. Ain't nobody got to do it for you.
So you think spiritual discipline?
Oh, spiritual discipline is the key. In fact, I would say a big reason why African people struggle the way we struggle from a spiritual perspective is we have become idol worshipers. Black America doesn't recognize it because we got so much religion around us, but most of us are idol worshipers. We worship cars, we worship clothes, we worship status, we worship college degrees, we worship celebrities. We don't really worship God, we profess it. But when you look at our behavior, we're worshiping everything but the Almighty. There's no way you could have poverty in Black America the way you have it when we are a $2 trillion people and you got Black people living on the streets. When's the last time you seen a homeless Chinese? When's the last time you seen a homeless Jew? When's the last time you seen a homeless Mexican? You don't, because the community provides for them. Black people are capitalists, and there's nobody who's ever going to make it into the kingdom of heaven being a capitalist.
So let's jump right into our program then. What we're here to talk all about is whether Black folks in 2025, Black America, are we thriving or just surviving?
I think we're drowning.
Oh.
I don't think we're thriving or surviving. I think we're drowning. You look at the suicide rate, Black girls, fastest growing suicide rate since COVID, right? Historically, the highest suicide rate in America was middle-class Black men, which is interesting, middle-class white males, which is interesting because so many Black people want to pattern their life off of middle-class white America. When that successful white man who you want to be, they have the highest suicide rate in American history. Why do you want to be him? You see that? Now, our girls, even though the white man still rules, middle-class white man as highest suicide group, Black girls have been the fastest growing since COVID. And we know why, because during the COVID quarantine, when children couldn't go to school, our girls were stuck in homes where there was sex abuse, emotional abuse, physical abuse, sibling abuse, right? Absenteeism, abandonment. Even though public schools are horrible, right? It was the only place where a lot of our daughters could go to just get a fresh opportunity to think through their problems, right? I'm looking forward to go to school, not to learn, but just to get some peace. COVID trapped them in a house. They couldn't even go out. So that quadrupled the trauma, and a lot of our daughters still have not regained their footing since then.
Jeez. There's a lot of truth to that as well.